Hello, and welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday, where today we're going to be talking about the Oculus Link, but from a developer's perspective. In short, I love it, but it might not be for you if you don't fit into the same criteria that I do. I'm somebody that develops on his desktop when he's at home, and then my laptop when I'm not at home. So that means that I was already lugging around my Rift S in a hard shell case everywhere I went so that I could always be working on my laptop. So it goes without saying that as soon as the Oculus Link released, I jumped on the bandwagon and went through the hour of troubleshooting it took to get it to work initially. But thankfully, Oculus has already updated their Quest setup guide with information about the Link, and it includes some tips and tricks that covers the bugs that I was running into. Typically, it's as simple as logging out and logging back in, and this does not happen too often. But also just a friendly reminder that the Oculus Link software update will not work if you are in the public test channel, so you have to make sure you opt out of that. But after those initial growing pains, it now just takes a couple seconds to set up and take down, and has become my everyday mobile dev kit. Don't get me wrong, I still use Development X to develop while I'm at home and on my desktop, but being able to carry everything I need to develop on the run in a single backpack is this guy's dream come true. Here's a little of what that process looks like. Now, I also wanted to make sure that I talk about some considerations when you're developing with the Oculus Link in replacement of the Rift S, as well as accommodating for players who will be using the Oculus Link, not the Rift S. First, a reminder. The Oculus Quest is closer to the original Rift CV1 and the HTC Vive when it comes to its black levels, and even though compression is not noticeable in well-lit areas, it becomes quite obvious in extremely dark areas. If you follow my studio at all, you know that our game is quite dark, hence the name. To accommodate for this, you need to raise the light levels at least in darker areas of the game. Be aware, however, that at the time of recording, Unity still reports the Oculus Link as though it were a Rift S. The workaround for this is to reference not only the XR device, but the refresh rate of the device as well. Unity will properly report a 72Hz refresh rate for the Quest and Link, while reporting a proper 82Hz refresh rate for the Rift S. If you're lucky enough to have your title accepted onto the Oculus Quest store, you might also want to use this as an opportunity to recommend to your player that they switch to that version of the game. That is under the assumption that there are not too drastic of differences between the two versions. One more thing that's worth noting is that the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift S have ever so slight differences in field of view, so any mechanics in your game that rely upon that may also need tweaking. In my title, I use GPU instancing to render grass only where the user is looking, and I realized that on the Rift S you do not see the grass spawning in at the edges of your vision, while on the Quest with the Link you do. This is something that I expect will get fixed once Unity is able to properly report the headset and you no longer need the refresh rate workaround. Well, that's all I got for this week's 5-Minute Friday. Just a quick development update, we just recruited another programmer. He's been hard at work overhauling our Monsters AI, and we can't wait to show you guys what we have in store for alpha version 0.7. Personally, I've been improving the Force Grab to a version 2.0, but make sure to check out next week's 5-Minute Friday for some footage of those improvements. But until then, I'll see ya on the hill.